Well guys, have you ever heard of MadCatz? Probably yes, okay, but I had never tried one of their products before yesterday, and now they make my favorite mouse, so I'm gonna talk to you about them today. And I think if you don't know the weird mouses they make, they're worth a watch. So what I have here is the MadCatz Rat 8 Plus. And now this thing, aside from the look, which is again pretty outstanding by itself, but it's basically the only universal mouse out there. And now what I mean universal is generally when I make a mouse review on the channel, I spend quite a bit of time just telling you guys who is this mouse for, what kind of grip do you use, you know, fingertip grip, palm grip, big hand, small hand, you know, if you prefer broccoli, if you prefer pizza, all those things. But today, none of that, because this mouse is gonna be perfect for everybody, and I wanna say pretty much any use case, unless you're like a lawyer and you're afraid that your clients are gonna see that you have a gaming mouse, but it's gonna be pretty much for everybody, okay? And now why is that? It's because in the packaging, they give you basically different parts to swap out, so they can be more grippy, which is interesting, okay, definitely. But it's mostly because of this. You can extend the mouse in length and in width in a second. So what this means is I have very big hands. I don't usually tell you guys on the channel because I talk about gaming PCs and tech and not my hands. But basically with most mouses, I am kind of in a difficult spot because they are too small for me. But if I put this mouse to the max, finally I have a mouse that fits, which is very nice for me. But what's crazy is if my girlfriend, who has very small hands, she's the one doing the unboxing, if she wanna try it, she just puts it to the minimum and it works for her as well. And if we want it more grippy, we just put on the grippy parts, which is like super cool. But not only that, you can also swap the weight on it. So they have little magnetic weights, which you can take on, take off, however you please, and make the mouse more light or more heavy, again, depending on what you like, which is something I find super cool. Now the mouse itself, again, I have the 8 Plus, there is also the 6 Plus. This thing costs $70, the 6 Plus is a little bit cheaper, so you might want to consider that one, depending on your budget, but this is my favorite, honestly. And basically it has a lot of programmable buttons, so you can switch up the profiles, and they are in cool positions, to be honest. Then you have an extra button here, but the cool part is right here on the side, marked like a marksman scope. You have an extra button which you can hold without changing your grip. So this is an ergonomic style mouse, so it's good even if you're just doing some web browsing, and it's not gonna damage your hand, which is why I was saying it's for everybody, unless you're, again, ashamed of the look because it's too aggressive for you. But basically, by holding your mouse normally, you can still like click the side button very, very fast, like you would with like your left finger pretty much, which is super nice, in my opinion. Plus, you have the usual 2 buttons here on the side, like any other mouse, but again, if you use those, you have to change your grip. So they're not great for FPS, they're good for like navigation, but not for FPS. Now here, for navigation, I would say map for going back in pages, so you can just scroll through web pages, scroll through my channel, by the way, drop a like and subscribe, without taking off thumb. Now one last thing, which is worth it, well, of course the wheel can be seen from the back as well, which is like super nice in my opinion, but that's mostly aesthetics, but it also helps to keep it clean. But it's the side wheel. So this mouse has 2 wheels. One is the usual one, and then one here on the side, which means this mouse is also very good for video editing. But not only that, it's great for gaming. Now, why? You might want to be asking. Well, because you can map this wheel to basically jump for you in games. So you can just scroll it all the time and just jump around and tap strafe in Apex Legends, you know, and in Warzone, do weird things with movement. And also it goes like super high in DPI to like 16,000 DPI, which is nice. But again, talking about mapping the buttons here brings me to the software. Software is absolutely crazy. Like, it has so many options. You can change the RGB, you can map whatever you want, and it's even crazier on keyboards, which brings me to the next step, because this is not just a mouse review, because I'm also taking a look at the MadCatz S.T.R.I.K.E 6, which is their keyboard. Now, the mouse is absolutely insane, out of this world, 10 out of 10 recommended. And if you want something like this, they have no competition. So it's either you buy this or you buy something else because you want something else. But the keyboard is nice, but it's more normal. So what this is an FPS oriented, competitive gaming oriented, not as versatile, but very good 60% keyboard that comes in at just $70. It's like readily available for $70, which is cheap, to be honest. And now it has good switches. They look black, They're some kind of proprietary switches. I don't have much info on that. The feeling is nice. They are pretty quiet, as you can hear. So they're not too bad like red or blues, but they're still kind of mechanical, like they give you that nice feel. The keys are hot swappable, and the only issue, but that's like normal for a 60% keyboard, is you don't have the F buttons like F1, F2, F3, etc. And you don't have many mappable buttons, but the whole keyboard is mappable. So again, with the crazy software that MadCatz give you, you can change whatever you want. You can basically make every button, you can make it a macro, every button you can make it a function key. You can make the button change depending on which game you are. It's just very good software, very well made. And it has detachable USB, it's all USB-C. And it's a nice competitive keyboard for a good price. So it's also recommended, but it's less versatile than the mouse, which I find really out of this world. So MadCatz is looking very promising. They have a lot of mouses as well. They're also redoing some of more standard competitive gaming mouses like the M2 they're making, sure, and they're finally distributed in Italy and in many parts of Europe. For Italy, thanks a lot to Abaco for finally distributing them, and they're also coming to a lot of local shops, they're telling me. So please drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments if you have tried any of MadCatz peripherals and if you have good or bad stories. Let us know, I'm very curious, and hopefully I will see you guys in another video as well. Goodbye for today.